Hey guys, welcome back. Alex here. Reaction video, of course. We have another request on Patreon. I already said it in my last video. And by the way, about the last video, if you haven't saw that, you should. I'm gonna leave the card at the end of the video. But guys, if you're from the Philippines, and even if you're not from the Philippines, it's the best story I ever saw and heard. Trust me. 3 airplanes against 54. 3 airplanes that they were like toy airplanes against 54 most technological airplanes. Something mind-blowing what some Filipino did. So if you don't know that story, or even if you know, you should watch it again. Trust me. I mean, it made me feel proud, and I'm not a Filipino, so I'm gonna leave the card at the end. Please, it deserves a lot. That story deserves not only statues, movies. It's something outstanding. I'm talking about another reaction in a reaction because it literally just blew my head away. Anyways, this one, this reaction here comes from Joseph, who says like this: "Hey Alex, I really enjoy all your reaction, and I appreciate that you share all these kind of videos that a lot of people don't know about." Yes, this thing is the Filipino gold. A lot of people have no idea what we have in the Philippines, and they should see this. Okay, here I am, guys. Like I said in every video, hit me with videos to share. I want to share Filipinos, not only culture, beautiful people, you know, everything. So this is what we are going to do. Sorry for the long introduction, but that video really hit me a lot. For the courage, man, that was mind-blowing. Anyways, that being said, let's go. Like the video, subscribe if you want, Patreon down below if you want to support the channel, and let's see what this is, you know, all about. How much gold is
ancient Philippine gold that shocked the world. In 1981, a discovery in the Philippines sent shockwaves through the archaeological world. Hidden beneath the earth for over 1,000 years lay treasures so magnificent, so technically advanced, that they challenged everything historians thought they knew about ancient Southeast Asia. This is the story of the Surigao treasure and the golden age of the Philippines, an era when Filipino artisans created gold work so sophisticated that it rivaled anything produced in Europe or Asia at the time. Today, we're diving deep into the ancient Philippine gold that shocked the world. To discover our story begins in Surigao del Sur, on the southern Philippine island of Mindanao. In the early 1980s, local residents stumbled upon something extraordinary while digging in the area. What they found would become known as the Surigao treasure, one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in Philippine history. The treasure consisted of an astounding collection of golden artifacts, intricate jewelry, ceremonial ornaments, death masks,
man, look at
sashes,
that,
and elaborate body decorations. But these weren't crude, simple pieces. These were masterworks of metallurgy and artistry, dated to between the 10th and 13th centuries. When news of the discovery reached Manila, the National Museum of the Philippines immediately dispatched teams to investigate. What they documented was breathtaking. The pieces demonstrated advanced techniques, granulation, repoussé work, filigree, and even welding methods that required temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius. Dr. Florina Capistrano Baker, a leading expert on Philippine gold, examined the pieces and declared them among the finest examples of ancient gold
in the world,
anywhere in the world. The Western archaeological community, which had largely ignored Southeast Asian gold work, was forced to take notice. But the Surigao treasure wasn't an isolated find. It was part of a much larger story, a golden civilization. The truth is, the Philippines has always been a land of gold. Ancient Chinese records from the Song dynasty referred to the Philippines as islands of gold. Spanish conquistadors arriving in the 16th century were astonished by the amount of gold worn by Filipino chiefs and nobility. Archaeological evidence now shows us why. From Luzon to Mindanao, excavations have uncovered thousands of golden artifacts spanning over a millennium. The Butuan silver paleograph, golden death masks from Oton, elaborate jewelry from Surigao.
And where is this gold
ceremonial
now?
sashes
I
from
want to
Butuan.
ask.
The list goes on. What's remarkable is the sophistication of these pieces. Ancient Filipino goldsmiths mastered techniques that wouldn't appear in Europe for centuries. They created hollow gold beads no larger than peas, connected intricate
And
chains
look at that.
using microscopic loops, and crafted three-dimensional animal figures with movable parts. The diversity is equally impressive. We find Hindu-Buddhist influenced designs alongside indigenous motifs, Chinese-inspired dragons next to native crocodiles and serpents. This wasn't cultural confusion. It was cosmopolitan sophistication. These artifacts tell us that ancient Philippine societies weren't isolated villages. They were thriving maritime kingdoms engaged in extensive trade networks spanning from China to India.
Okay, but how
from
can you
Java
craft
to
something like
Japan.
that
Gold was both a symbol of power
in that
and
era?
a
I
medium
mean,
of exchange, connecting Filipino rulers to the broader Asian world. The scale of gold production was enormous. Some historians estimate that by the 15th century, the Philippines was producing significant quantities of gold, much of it traded throughout Asia. Filipino gold beads have been found in archaeological sites as far away as
Holy
Egypt
crap.
and East Africa, evidence of truly global trade
I mean,
networks.
do you think about
Hey, history
Egypt,
lovers,
how far it
quick
is from the
favor before we
Philippines?
start.
So the
If you
trade.
enjoyed today's video, please help me
Anyways,
reach
the original
500
link, you can
likes.
find it down below. Go
Don't
and show some
forget to
support to the channel,
subscribe
this channel
for
that
more
made this
amazing
possible.
historical stories.
Holy crap, man.
Masterworks of metallurgy. Let's examine some specific pieces that showcase the incredible skill of ancient Filipino artisans. First, the gold death masks. These delicate face coverings were placed over the deceased, particularly among elite members of society. The craftsmanship is stunning. Each mask is hammered from a single sheet of gold, so thin you can see light through it, yet strong enough to hold its shape for over 1,000 years. The facial features are carefully rendered, with representations of eyes, noses, and mouths that suggest both
And then it has
artistry
to fit,
and ritual
you know, I mean, from
significance. Then there are the golden sashes, or waistbands of the gods, as they're sometimes called. These elaborate pieces could measure over 1 meter long and featured hundreds of interconnected golden pieces. Chains, pendants, beads, and plates all working together. Some featured Sanskrit inscriptions, Hindu deities, or Buddhist symbols, showing the religious and cultural exchanges happening in the ancient Philippines. The technical achievement here cannot be overstated. Creating these pieces required precise temperature control for welding and soldering, advanced understanding of
and
gold's
how
properties and alloys, sophisticated tools for drawing wire, creating
is that
granules
possible?
and hammering sheets, artistic vision to design complex multi-component pieces, and patience. Each piece could take months or years to complete.
Look at that.
Consider the golden kinari figures found in various sites. These mythological creatures, half human, half bird, required the goldsmith to create three-dimensional hollow forms with intricate surface.
I'm gonna stop for 1 second because I had like a flashback. I don't know how many of you that are watching are into video games. When I saw that half bird, half human, um, it brings to mind a game, a video game. It's called Final Fantasy, especially the 10th. And there was like the chocobo called, I don't know. Anyways, if you're not into that, but still, I mean, I'm sorry if this doc they didn't say the date, because you can, carbon date the, I guess, because this kind of creation, it requires, like it said, temperature, knowledge, composition of the gold. So how do you knew that? How I mean, I will really, really, enjoy to know the year, because it's fascinating. But sometimes when you guys suggest documentaries or videos about the Philippines, I'm gonna say, I mean, I'm saying to myself, I'm not gonna be amazed anymore. I know Philippines, it's just Philippines. It's gonna blow your mind anyways. But still, I mean, with every damn video, it's like, what the hell?
Details. The techniques involve match or exceed contemporary gold work from India, China, or the Islamic world. Perhaps most impressive are the gold beads. Filipino artisans created thousands of these tiny hollow spheres, some no bigger than a grain of rice. Each
How
was
the
perfectly formed, perfectly weighted, and often featured microscopic decorative patterns. Creating just one required exceptional skill. Creating thousands suggests an entire industry of specialized craftspeople. The trade networks. But where did all this gold come from? And where did it
Yeah, where
go?
did it go?
The Philippines sits at the crossroads of Asia. To the west lies Southeast Asia and India. To the north, China and Japan. To the south, Indonesia and the Spice Islands. Ancient Filipino kingdoms capitalized on this geography, becoming essential nodes in the vast maritime trade networks of Asia. Gold was mined locally from rivers and mountains throughout the archipelago. The Paracal mines in Camarines Norte, the Baguio gold fields, rivers in Mindanao. These sources provided raw material. But Filipino craftspeople added immense value through their skill, transforming raw gold into artistic masterpieces that commanded premium prices. In exchange, the Philippines received silk from China, spices from the Moluccas, pottery from Vietnam and Thailand, glass beads from India, and countless other goods. Ancient trading ships called at Philippine ports, creating cosmopolitan centers where ideas, religions, and technologies mixed freely. This wasn't passive trade. Filipino rulers actively cultivated these networks. They maintained fleets of trading vessels, established diplomatic relations with foreign courts, and created conditions that attracted merchants. Ancient Chinese
So
records
imagine how rich the
mention
Philippine
Filipino
was.
embassies to the Chinese imperial court, bearing tribute and establishing trade agreements. The famous Laguna copperplate inscription, dated to 900 CE, provides written evidence of this sophisticated society. Written in Old Malay using an Indic script, it records a debt forgiveness by a ruler and mentions multiple place names.
So it's a stop for 1 second. I have on the channel, of course, is the previous video actually, where we talked about and we saw the ancient thing that were found in the Philippines. And this tablet over here, if I can call it like that, was the most ancient thing found there, and it was about a debt. I don't remember how much it was in gold, but still, I mean, thinking about this, and everything that happens in the world is like it leads to the Philippines in some way. I don't know how.
political authorities, and dates using both Indian and Chinese calendar systems. This single artifact proves the existence of literate,
It's like a
administratively
Rosetta
complex
Stone, you
kingdoms
know?
engaged with the broader Asian world, the mystery and the loss. So if ancient Filipinos possess so much gold and such
Where is
advanced
it?
skills, what happened to it? The answer is complex and, frankly, tragic. When Spanish colonizers arrived in the 1565, they encountered societies rich in gold. Early Spanish accounts describe Filipino nobles dripping with gold, wearing elaborate jewelry from head to toe, but the Spanish systematically melted down these artifacts, destroying priceless cultural
Why?
treasures to create coins and bars for shipment to Spain. Over 3 centuries of colonial rule, countless golden artifacts were lost. Indigenous belief systems that valued these objects were suppressed, and the artisanal traditions that created them faded away. The gold-working knowledge, passed down through generations, was largely forgotten. Later, American colonial authorities and Filipino elites showed little interest in preserving what remained. Archaeological sites were looted, artifacts sold on black markets, and pieces disappeared into private collections. Even today, many Philippine gold artifacts reside in foreign museums or private collections, separated from their cultural
That's
context.
not fair.
The Surigao treasure itself faced challenges. Some pieces disappeared before they could be properly documented, likely sold illegally to collectors. What survives in museums represents perhaps a tiny fraction of what once existed. Each piece we have is precious, not just for its material value, but as a window into a sophisticated civilization that has been systematically erased from historical consciousness. Reclaiming the narrative. The rediscovery of Philippine gold has profound implications. For generations, Western and even some Filipino historians portrayed pre-colonial Philippines as primitive, isolated, and backward, a narrative used to justify colonization and cultural erasure. The gold artifacts shatter this myth completely. They prove that ancient Filipinos created complex societies with advanced technologies, extensive trade networks, and sophisticated artistic traditions. They show participation in broader Asian cultural and economic systems as equals, not as peripheral backwaters. This matters because historical narratives shape present identities. When Filipinos learn that their ancestors were master artisans whose work rivaled anything in the world, it transforms cultural self-perception. When the world sees these artifacts, it must acknowledge Southeast Asian contributions to human civilization. Today, institutions like the Ayala Museum in Manila and the National Museum of the Philippines work to preserve, study, and display these
Guys, look, like I said, this is fascinating. The original link, you can find down below. Thanks to the channel that provided to this material. The thing that I wanted to say, and I guess is the most important of all, is that Philippines, with all history that it has, and for some reason, everything goes to the Philippines, from the DNA to gold to history. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that because if not, the video is going to be too long. There is something special and a lot of people don't know about. And like in the video said, it should be shared. Because a lot of people think about Philippines. Yes, okay, they have the sea or whatever. No, they have a lot more. And shame on me, because before I had this channel, I was thinking the same. So first of all, I put the blame on me. And afterwards, I discovered you guys with your voices, with the karaoke, with the music, then with the people, then with the culture, then with the country, and then with all this amazing and beautiful thing. Then I started to wish myself to be a Filipino. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. We have a lot of requests of a lot of material that maybe you don't know about and you want to see here on the channel. So make sure to subscribe if you want. If not, that's fine. And anyways, what can I say? God bless Philippines, and I'm really glad to see all this. Thank you for watching. Like I always say, until next time, stay safe.